Bob. Nice apron. How you been?
Not bad, not bad. Say, how do you like the steak?
Medium, Bob, medium.
Whoops. Marv, glad you can make it. Say, how do you like your steak?
Well done, Bob. Burn it.
Coming right up.
Oops. Bob, make mine rare.
You got it.
Oops. It's the 9X Yellow Pages sweepstakes. We'll be calling thousands of people to play. So be prepared. The grand prize is $25,000.
Thanksgiving is a time to give thanks for friends, corn, a good football season, and great Toyota contests. You can win a Toyota truck. Go to your Toyota dealer, predict who's going to win Sunday's game, and you can win tickets to a Bills game. Or better yet, a new Toyota truck.
Now through Tuesday, buy a new Toyota truck and get a truckload of groceries from Tops Friendly Markets. Only at Culligan, Gambino, Halls, Maroney, and Northtown Toyota.
Just goes to show you, Toyota trucks are outstanding in their field.
The big story.
And it could be some future stars right here.
For anyone.
That's my boy.
Is the time and care we take. As we share the news we gather.
Now let's meet the captain of the winning team. Hey, sir, that was a great
We know what matters.
Donate a new toy and make our Christmas wish come true for kids' sake.
Goal to Go postgame is brought to you in part by WBEN Radio 930, Western New York's radio sports leader, by the White Directory Talking Phone Book, and by True Value Hardware, your store of first choice.
Now, live from Ridge Stadium and Channel 2 Sports, Goal to Go, a Buffalo Bills post-game show.
But they haven't beat us in like 20 years, so I feel like we'll handle them.
20 years?
Something like that.
Now Kelly sets up in the shotgun, 3rd down and 8 for Buffalo. Throwing into the wind. He gets time. He makes the connection to Ronnie Harmon, who's on the run. Inside the 10, he's going in. Harmon with a touchdown for the Bills. So the Bills, on a day when critics' fingers were pointed at them, can you rise up? After some off performances, answer the call. Their most impressive win of this season, beating the Bengals 24-7.
And that's the story this afternoon from Rich Stadium. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Wes Goforth. Welcome to our Goal to Go post-game show. Lewis Billups was beaten on that touchdown by Ronnie Harmon, and the Buffalo Bills all over the Bengals this afternoon. Ed Kilgore standing by live out in the Bills locker room right now as we join him live. Ed?
That's right, Wes. As a matter of fact, Lewis Billups was also beaten on an earlier touchdown by Andre Reed. So I would imagine if he could say, you know, I'd like to take those words back, he would do it now, but it's a little bit too late. Incidentally, we do know that the Bills happened to view that film of Mr. Billups' comments about the Bills not having beaten the Bengals in some 20 years or whatever it was. Obviously, that is a little bit of an exaggeration, but the fact is the Bills hadn't beaten the Bengals in a long time. That's true, but they had played those games in Cincinnati, in the jungle. Well, the Bills have a lot of animals in the fans here, too. They had over 80,000 of them this afternoon, and that certainly didn't hurt the Bills in a very dominant 24-7 win. And Mike DeGeorge, this was one of those games that the Bills did it, I suppose you could say, the old-fashioned way, but they pounded it out. The running game worked, the passing game worked when it had to, and they also got a few breaks, but you have to get everything working for you.
You know, from a defensive standpoint, it wasn't the old traditional way. They did not stop the run, but they did stop the pass. The Bengal receivers, McGee and Brown, were pretty much non-factors in this game. Boomer's really only receiving threat were their tight ends. Once you take the Bengal receivers out of the game, you've done quite a job.
A couple of key factors in this game. Of course, at the end of the half, it looked like the Bengals had a field goal on the board. The Bills protested their case. You never see this happen, but in this case it did happen. The officials reversed themselves after a little huddle along the sideline, so somebody had to go in the dressing room and say to Sam Weiss, Sam, excuse me, we have to tell you right here, you thought the score was 10-3. it's actually 10-0. I'm sure that didn't sit very well with Mr. Weiss. And then, of course, in the third quarter, the Bills were into the wind, and they were able to pounce on the turnover, and they turned that into 7 points on the 42-yarder to Harmon.
Well, that play just before half, Weiss really may have screwed up. He took a couple of timeouts with him to the locker room, and that really hurt on that final play. They would have still had time on the clock, even though the penalty would have incurred.
Well, that's right. You know, you call a timeout with, say, 8 seconds to go. If there's an offensive penalty on the last play of a half or a game, that's it. You don't get another shot at it. So the Bengals cut it a little bit too closely there, and it burned them in the end. A very impressive win for the Bills. Right now, let's go back to the studio with Wes Goforth.
Thanks, Ed. 24-7, the final again this afternoon, and the Bills will go a game up in the AFC East over the Miami Dolphins, it looks like today, as Miami is losing to Pittsburgh now in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, where the weather was a bit of a factor this afternoon. Pouring rain, as you see Gary Anderson, the Steeler kicker, on the sideline. Now leading 7-0 in the first quarter, Dan Marino hit Mark Clayton for 66 yards. This put the Dolphins up 14-0 in the first quarter. But Pittsburgh has come back with the next 34 points in this ball game. A 1-yard touchdown run here by Merrill Hodge through the rain and the mud that capped a long scoring drive as the Dolphins began to fall apart. Sammy Smith loses the handle on the ball. Carnell Lake recovers, and watch this play. A lateral to Dwayne Woodruff. Woodruff is off for the score. He stays in bounds and makes it 14-14. Pittsburgh added a field goal and led 17-14 at halftime. And again, at last report, late in the ball game, has come back from a 14-0 deficit to take a 34-14 lead over the Miami Dolphins. And if that goes on as a Pittsburgh win, the Bills again would take a 1-game lead over Miami. Indianapolis and San Diego tied at 3-3 in the fourth quarter, as the Colts went into the day 5-6. New England plays the Raiders this afternoon. The Raiders must win to stay in playoff contention. And the Jets over Atlanta 24-27 now to 7, 27-7 Jets in the fourth quarter. Now for the Bengals, this Bills win this afternoon really put a crimp in their style. They went in 6-5 and hoping to make up some ground on Cleveland, which had lost on Thanksgiving Day. But the big game they were watching was Houston and Kansas City, as the Oilers went into the day actually leading the AFC Central by a 7-4 record, and they played the Kansas City Chiefs. Derek Thomas, out of bounds, gets a little shoving match with Warren Moon. It winds up with a face mask call on Moon. Jerry Glanville gets a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. James Saxon takes it on in for the Chiefs as they built a halftime lead of 20-0. And the last report, we're pounding Houston 34-0. And this has all kind of playoff implications. Cleveland will take the lead in the AFC Central at 7-4-1. Houston will fall to 7-5. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati at 6-6 right now. Bills coach Marv Levy conducting his post-game press conference in the Bills locker room, and we join him live.
Played their hearts out and deserved to win today.
Coach, tell us about Thurman Thomas's performance.
About whom?
Thurman Thomas.
Well, I just put on the record I think that I've been putting on every week to do it. As always, he came with some. One of the biggest plays in the game, I'm sure it's lost in the in all of the other things that happened. In our touchdown in the second quarter puts up 10-0. We had a second and long situation where Thurman ran the ball and we picked up first down and had about 5 or 6, maybe more than that, plays before we scored. I felt that was a very, very big play in the game. But he catches the ball well. He ran magnificently, and there were two very obvious great running backs in the field, because James Brooks sure is one too.
Can you talk about that end in the first half, that field goal? Wasn't it?
Well, it was the rule is that if the offensive team is guilty on a penalty on the last play of either half, they don't get another shot at it, and they had a penalty.
But the penalty was first called against the Bills.
I beg your pardon? Well, yeah, well, that was reversed to me. One official saw a Bills player move, so he threw the flag against the Bills, but the other one said he moved on the movement of the right guard on the field goal team. So that's what made him move. And if that's the thing that precipitates the move, that's the team that's penalized.
Have you ever been involved in a play like that before?
I've been involved in a play where there's been a penalty on the last play of a half or the last play of a game, and nothing goes over. And there have been other games where field goals are kicked on the last play of a game or of a half, and they're not allowed. Whether I've specifically been in it or not, I don't know. I've been coaching too many years to remember, but I've seen it before.
Cincinnati is a big strike, long ball type of team. It seems like they got the intermediate stuff, and they took the long game to Eddie Brown the bombs away from them today.
Our defense, as well as our offense, I don't want to start singling out one unit over another, But they did a great job. And our pass coverage overall, except for the one, and I really haven't, because they were caught in the moment, checked with our defensive coaches what happened on the one where McGee was left uncovered. I think it was McGee, was it not? 85? Was left uncovered. But overall, our coverage was great. We had great pressure. Bruce Smith had a great game, among many others. I hate to sort of start singling it out. They certainly awarded him one of the game balls because he got good pressure on Boomer, and I think in large measure, and this is difficult to do, some of it came because we were getting good coverage. Usually you get good coverage, and we did get a lot of it because you're getting good pressure.
Your opening statement, you said the team was really keyed up. It's like they had the will today that there was no way they were going to lose the game.
Well, there are a lot of ways you could lose it, even if you have that will. It isn't just will that wins it. It's playing, but nevertheless, their focus on the game was tremendous. It really was. It really was, Jerry. And it's always easy to say we had the will to win after you win. There have been games we've lost where we've had the will to win, too. Now you got to go out and play. Playing hard is great. Playing well is important also.
When you played Cincinnati last year in the AFC Championship, those were not able to run the ball effectively at all. Today they were. Can you talk about that?
Well, every game is a different one, and I think probably we were a pretty fair running team last year. We were 7th in the league overall running, but I think we're a better running team than we are now. Last year we opened the game, too, throwing the ball against Cincinnati and got ourselves in enough of a hole where we had to keep throwing the ball. We're usually pretty resolute about making the run go, and we love to make an opponent abandon the run. Not that they did. I think their play selection was good. But yes, we did run better today. And there have been days you do and days you don't.
Bills head coach Marv Levy with praise for his team, which moves back into first place in the AFC East, 24-7 winners over the Cincinnati Bengals this afternoon. We're going to break, give you some scores elsewhere around the NFL this afternoon, and then be right back live at the stadium.
Make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
This season, do your window shopping with the Christmas Gifts catalog from True Value Hardware Stores. In it, you'll find the Master Mechanic 3/8-inch cordless drill and screwdriver, gift priced at just $19.99. And the Skill cordless power wrench with 3/8-inch drive and high torque operation for only $39.99. Or give the rugged Master Mechanic plastic toolbox. It's just $10.99 at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
WBEN puts more into your radio.
Good morning from Bill Lacey. It's 20 minutes after...
The Sabres on the power play has tied it up 1-1.
Bring a chance of showers. For weather facts, this is Chief Meteorologist Carl.
Deep to center field. Going back. He's got it.
From City Hall, Brian Meyer, WBEN Radio News.
The Bills come to the line, and they are going for it.
Kensington. This is Dave May for the WBEN Traffic Copter.
WBEN Radio 930. We cover it all.
Have you got one easy-to-use alphabetical listing of all the homes and businesses in Buffalo and all its suburbs?
With the zip codes right alongside?
Not in here. Do you have that new easier-to-read page format? Not in here.
Talking yellow page ads?
Nope, not in here.
When your fingers do the walking, use the one that does the talking phone book.
These people like you and me.
Did you happen to win a contest where you didn't wear any clothes? You jump out of planes nude.
Are going to match wits with your favorite stars.
Men and women have to do it together?
On Third Degree.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Channel 2.
Xerox presents the Great American Torture Test. We challenge the bone-numbing cold of northern Alaska and passed with flying colors. Xerox. Because extreme conditions demand extreme protection.
Welcome back after a Bills 24-7 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. And for you callers who want to see some golf, we will join the Skins game live from California immediately following our post-game show today. Interchangeable parts for the Bills defense. Scott Radisek played inside linebacker in Shane Conlon's absence. Now goes outside today, and he's standing by live with Ed Kilgore now. Ed?
That's right, Wes. If there was any pressure on somebody, maybe more than the rest of the people, it was number 97, Scott Radisek, because Cornelius Bennett, I mean, there's the guy that's a little bit tough to fill in for, Scott, but I know they gave you the game ball today, and it looked like you were all over the field. Had a good afternoon.
Yeah, it went very well. I was very thankful for the way I played, and but the defense did a great job. You know, we rushed Darryl more than normal, you know, because he's a better pass rusher than I am. But the couple of times I was caught on, I was able to get a little bit of pressure, you know, when they put it back on me. But, you know, our line kept pressure on them. They tried to screw us up with some bootlegs and counter passes, and our secondary was running with receivers. So, you know, and all the games we've won this year, we've won as a team, and we did it again today.
Psychologically, what was this like? I know you guys, you heard a lot about what the Bengals said. You heard Lou Billups say, hey, they haven't beaten us in 20-some years. I mean, not that you needed any more firing up, but I'm sure that had to be in the back of your mind.
It does. It's like throwing coals on the fire, you know, because we were upset with the way we played against them last year. And, you know, you're looking for that rematch, and everybody was. And it's one of those games that you kind of have to put out of your mind until you get to play it. And then when teams kind of act like, yeah, we'll just walk into Buffalo and beat them, you know, it got guys upset. And I think that this is one game that there was no doubt that people would be ready to play.
But that's for sure, and it turned out to be pretty productive because Miami is getting clobbered by the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, so it's like, I think, 34-14, so it looks like you're going to be all alone atop the AFC East again and going on the road now, Scott.
That's right. And one thing that we talked about, we got together as a team after the game was, you know, understand how everybody practiced and prepared for this game, and let's do it when we go on the road because that's when it counts.
Okay, Scott, great job this afternoon. Congratulations. Scott Radisek did a tremendous job filling in for Cornelius Bennett, who went down to Alabama to have another opinion on his injured knee, so we don't really know the status of him at this point, Wes, but he was unable to play this afternoon. Hopefully he'll be ready for Seattle, but if not, we're sure Scott will do a fine job in his stead. Back to you, Wes.
Thanks, Ed. The Bills defense with that pass rush today held Boomer Esiason to 11 of 26 passing attempts completed and 136 yards through the air. Now, the Bills next Monday night will go to Seattle and play the Seahawks, who play at Denver later this afternoon. Buffalo on the road, trying to rebound from a couple of road woes earlier in the season, of course. Miami plays at Kansas City, Indianapolis at New England, the New York Jets at San Diego. That is the AFC East fair next week. Right now, Ed standing by with Bills nose tackle Fred Smerlas. Ed?
Thanks, Wes. I'm with a guy that obviously is all washed up. No, far from it.
Oh, last week we were washed up.
Well, last week you were all finishing through, but what a difference a week can make. Now all of a sudden Miami's losing. You're going to be all alone in first place again.
Yep, you know, we got to win the rest, three out of four, and we're in. So, like I said last week, everyone's saying, what's wrong with the team? This and that, this and that. 6 turnovers last week, and you know, 1 led to a touchdown, a field goal. So it takes today. We got the turnovers. I think we turned it over once or twice.
A couple times, one didn't mean much late in the
difference
game,
in the end. So it's a big difference. If we concentrate and keep hold the ball and get the ball out when we have to, you know, the team, it's tough. And see, it just so happens it happened when we were at home. You know, last week everyone says, geez, it's on the road, and you know the guys play well, but we didn't hold on to the ball and we didn't do the little things that could have put us over the edge. So if we just keep the momentum going, hold on to the ball, pull the ball out, we're gonna be all right.
This was one of those games that a very emotional game, obviously, because ever since last year's AFC Championship game, a lot had been said and made about the Bengals stopping you from the Super Bowl, and then Louis Billups making these comments about 20 years. I don't know what Louis is saying now.
I think they're going to arrest him for attempted mustache. You see that thing? About 4 hairs.
No.
But yeah, 20 years. I mean, he wasn't even born back then, I don't think so. You know, this breaks the 20-year losing streak, according to Mr. Phillips. I see him trying to tackle Brew. I think now he's playing in the 60s. He got rocked. So, little things like that do irritate. I mean, you don't come out and after a team, we lost a couple of tough ones out there. You don't come out and start saying those things, especially when you get a lot of character. We have a lot of character in this team, and, you know, I wouldn't want to get the Brew mad, come run at me like that.
He is a load. Okay, Fred, we'll let you get back and take the shower. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Fred Smerlas did a super job in the middle of that Bills defense this afternoon as they almost shut out the Bengals. West, not quite, but close. Back to you.
Thanks. 24-7, the final. Just for the record, in the last 6 years under Sam Weish, the Bengals were 4-0 against the Bills. They had won before 20 years ago, and this afternoon now go to 6-11 career against the Cincinnati Bengals, but today was the equalizer for last year. We're going to break and be right back with more live from the stadium in just a minute.
Down at the 16.
Yeah! Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The Bills are happening now. They're making it happen now. We've got the spirit, a lot of spirit, yeah. We've got the spirit. Just watch it happen now. Hey, hey, hey,
Lockport Nissan Volkswagen. We have a lock on performance.
The spirit of Christmas past came alive with a flicker, and we welcome the holidays with shimmering light. Well, now True Value hardware stores capture the motion of miniature lights with marquee sets from Noma. Your choice, just $14.99. And this Noma timer, only $16.99, turns them on automatically at dusk. So when you're away or tucked warm inside, you can enjoy bright traditions from your Christmas lighting source. True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Don, could you please hand me... Don, what are you doing?
I'm working on my Christmas wish list.
Anybody I know on there?
No, this is for the Channel 2 Christmas Wish Toy Drive to help our needy children. You see, Tommy wants a new battleship.
How can we
Sally,
get
a new
that
doll.
many toys?
Surprise! We heard you needed toys for the Christmas Wish Toy Drive, so here we are.
Join our Channel 2 family and make it a brighter Christmas.
Bring a new unwrapped toy to one of our sponsor locations.
And make our Christmas wish come true.
For kids' sake.
The big story.
for anyone. But the difference
Solidarity has brought so many changes to your homeland.
is the time and care we take. You're the one.
What is it that you wish now?
As we share the news we gather.
Hope he has the freedom to live his dreams.
We know what matters.
Welcome back to Goal to Go. 24-7, Buffalo over Cincinnati is the final Rich Stadium this afternoon. Other scores around the AFC East, the one that puts the Bills a game up on Miami. Now Pittsburgh, this is a final, has beaten Miami 34-14 after falling behind 14-0, and a late score trickling in from the West, the 4 o'clock start at Indianapolis, where San Diego has taken a 10-6 lead over the Indianapolis Colts. Bills quarterback Jim Kelly conducting his live press conference in the Bills locker room now.
Like we did today, not too many teams can stop us. We got to learn how to play away like we play at home. Like Coach Levy said and I've said and everybody has stated, you have to win on the road, and the Buffalo Bills got to start learning how to win on the road.
Basically what you're saying is you can only beat yourself?
Exactly right. We had some turnovers. I don't know if it's beating ourselves. We just got to get the momentum on our side and get excited. When we play with a little enthusiasm, I think we fly around, our defense gets the offense pumped up. They get us going. We have to have more enthusiasm in our game when we play on the road, just like we do at home. We don't have the fans to, push us to get us excited. We have to get excited ourselves.
So what do you have for the next week? There's 3 road games left, 2 against bad teams.
Well, we just have to play like we did today. The only person can stop us now is ourselves. That's the way I look at it.
Jim, I know that Louis Billups made some comments about the Bills not beating the Bengals in 20 years. I know that's something that the team viewed, I think, last night. How did that play into the equation, and that emotionally charge the guys anymore?
I think anytime anybody mentions something about the team they're facing and give them any kind of advantage, it's going to pump us up. It definitely pumped us up. Coach Levy has watched a little film last night, and he got us excited after he turned it off. I don't think there was too many words said. Everybody knew exactly what they had to do coming out, and we did it.
What about fan noise? You think that helped?
That definitely helps. Keeps them off balance. Can't audible as much on the line of scrimmage because it takes a little bit more time, and it definitely helps. As far as an offense is going, it makes it difficult.
Jim, last year the team ran very unsuccessfully against Cincinnati. Today it was very much more successful. What do you think?
There's one thing that did that offensive line. They came ready to play football today, and they've been saying it all week, and they worked very hard. So there's nobody going to stop them today, and they proved it.
Jim, can you talk about the touchdown pass to Reed? I know it was you didn't have much room there to get it over. Fulcher was coming over just about that time. He got.
Hear him. Jim Kelly was 10 for 15 today with 123 yards. 10 for 15, 123 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the day. We're going to break and be right back with more Goal to Go Live.
At Lockport Savings Bank, the atmosphere is overwhelmingly friendly. The people are always professional and courteous.
I think they're great. Lockport Savings has convenient locations, and the people have a great attitude. I like it a lot. Keep up the good work.
Lockport Savings Bank makes the person-to-person commitment to you.
There are a lot of luxury cars available. Only one is the most trouble-free American luxury car. Last year, J.D. Power & Associates ranked Buick's newly designed Riviera the most trouble-free American luxury car. Buick Skylark is a quality-built Buick that most of you can afford. Skylark, beautiful Buick driving, priced sensibly. Buy Skylark at your Western New York Buick dealer. Get giant cashbacks now.
The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation proudly presents the Guys and Dolls Auction Gala to be held Sunday, November 19th at the Ramada Renaissance.
30 single men and women have designed interesting day packages to be auctioned off on this evening.
All proceeds will benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's attempt to end the #1 genetic killer of children and young adults. Please help us make cystic fibrosis history.
Tickets can be obtained through all Ticketron locations or by calling the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation at 854-2011.
The big story. Not there for anyone.
That's thanks to Lake Erie. But outside, we'll use our weather check to measure everything we talked about.
Time and care we take.
Hey, Vince, come on, buddy, up here.
Really matter.
Anything up there?
As we share the news we gather.
I'd like to be meteorologist. Well, maybe we got you started today.
We know what matters.
Welcome back. Ed Kilgore now standing by live with Mark Kelso in the Bills locker room. Ed?
That's right, and Wes, the entire defensive team today did a very tremendous job against the potent Cincinnati Bengals offense. And free safety Mark Kelso with me right now. And Mark, this was one of those games where it seemed like that emotion was back. If there had been any lacking, you had a lot of pressure on you all week. Everybody was saying, and not just locally, but a lot of people nationally were saying, what's wrong with the Bills? Are they folding or whatever? That puts a lot of pressure on you guys, because I know you can't totally shut all that out, can you?
Well, no, you can't totally shut it out, but you got to remember that, and Mark talks about it all the time, you're never as good as they say you are and never as bad as they say you are, because you lose a game, and as soon as we lost last week, we had 11-point lead with, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes left, and then they go, oh, that same thing happened in Atlanta. And it's not, that's not exactly what happened. I mean, it is a total team effort. It really is. And today, you know, we showed that. We came in, you know, they scored. I don't know what the score was when they scored 17-7, but, you know, they got a little bit of momentum, and then the defense came in and we stopped them, and we took the momentum away, and then the offense didn't go in and turn the ball over or go in and stall. They went in and drove the ball right down the field and got another touchdown. So, you know, it just clicked, and it is. You know, you can see today how much of a team effort it is. Even if the defense is playing well, the offense is playing great. You need to have every segment clicking to have a good performance.
I was going to say, it seems like the defense is probably taking most of the heat here for what's happened on the road, and yet when you really examine it, and I'm not trying to point a finger at the offense, but the point here being that it is a team game. Now, you had, I think, 6 turnovers at New England, and you had a lot of turnovers at Indianapolis, maybe 7 there. So I guess what I'm saying is I agree with you. I think it is a team thing.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not. It is a team thing, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, if one segment plays very poorly, then you're not going to have a good day. But in order to play well, you need every segment playing well, and you can't have a defense go out there, like I said, and you know, unless you shut somebody out, and the offense go in and turn the ball over a lot. You know, you can't have a defense playing that kind of football and the offense turn it over, or vice versa. You can't have the offense going up and down the field and have the defense not stop them. So it is a total team thing, and you know, and I think the big field goal that Scott Norwood made, you know, went into the wind about 25-yarder, which he kicked the thing, and it was a great kick, but it got up there and never made it to the screen. It just started coming back, and I thought, geez, the thing's going to blow back over the upright. But even that, you know, gives you some momentum. And then the play at the end of the half when they didn't get 3 points, you know, going in, getting points at the end of a half is a big momentum builder, booster for for the offense, and you know, they took those points away because they were illegally in motion, and that really helps too. But like I said, it was a total team effort, and you got to play good defense, you got to play good offense.
Super, Mark. Nice job this afternoon. Good luck at Seattle. Thanks. All right, as the Bills West once again hit the road next week and travel up to Seattle on a Monday night effort against Chuck Knox's struggling Seahawks. Wes?
Exactly, Ed. Do it on the road, I guess, is the name of the game right now. Bills at 8-4 are a game up on the rest of the AFC East pack this afternoon. Let's run down the NFL scores up to the minute as we have them right now. Miami was beaten by Pittsburgh at Miami today, 34-14, the final, after the Dolphins led at 14-0 at one point. Correction of an earlier score we gave you: Indianapolis leads San Diego 10-6. That is a first half score from the Hoosier Dome. 10-6, Colts over the San Diego Chargers. New England and the Raiders just getting underway out west in a game with playoff implications for the Raiders, as slim though they are for LA right now. Elsewhere around the leagues, the Jets and Atlanta. This is a final, I assume, 27-7, 27-7 the Jets over Atlanta this afternoon. That is a final. And Kansas City over Houston, 34-0. That too a final from Kansas City. The Dolphins play the first of two games against Kansas City remaining on the schedule next week. Elsewhere, Green Bay has come back to beat Minnesota 20-19 and for now take the lead in the NFC Central. Don Mikowski and company, 2019 winners over Minnesota this afternoon. Also, Denver leading Seattle 7-0. Denver will be in the driver's seat to clinch the AFC West if they beat the Seahawks, who would fall to 4-8 should they lose that game at Denver this afternoon. Also, Phoenix and Tampa Bay just kicking off out west in Hank Kuhlman's first game as Phoenix Cardinals head coach. Chicago has to win to stay in a tie with Green Bay atop the NFC Central and is scoreless against Washington right now at RFK Stadium in the first quarter. The Rams in New Orleans, an 8 o'clock start tonight, and tomorrow night the New York Giants and San Francisco 49ers at Candlestick Park. The Buffalo Bills over the Cincinnati Bengals this afternoon, 24-7, and the regular series breakdown of Buffalo and Seattle, the matchup for next week. The Bills are 1-2 lifetime, as you see, against the Seahawks, the only team which has never played at Rich Stadium, incidentally. Seattle won the first one 12 years ago, and won at Seattle in 1984. The Bills won last year, as you recall, at Seattle 13-3, and to go into Seattle with a real need to win on the road and play with that enthusiasm, as Jim Kelly said a moment ago, on the road that they've had at home most of the season. Ed Kilgore, Mike DeGeorge standing by live right now. And guys, that is really the name of the game right now for this football team as they try to get momentum going to the playoffs. They got to play this way on the road.
Well, that's right, Wes, because as of now, 3 of the final 4 games are on the road, only the New Orleans Saints, and that certainly is no gimme, no chip shot against the Saints because they're a very improved team. They've been coming on lately, so that's the only home game, and the Bills have a tough slate here because they have to play at Seattle, of course, at San Francisco, and then they wind it up against the Jets, but in a final game of the year, that also, and the Bills have found that no place on the road is a gimme, but a little bit of perspective, the Bills have certainly answered a lot of questions here this afternoon. The Cincinnati Bengals appeared to have their act together, but the Bills really crushed them 24-7, was pretty much indicative of the game. The Bengals, not the same team they were a year ago when they reached the Super Bowl, but certainly an effective club. And the Bills answered any questions about whether or not they are a question mark to make the playoffs. I think right now you'll see a little bit different effort in Seattle next week. I'd be very surprised if Monday night if they didn't come out and handle Chuck Knox's Seahawks, who, as you know, are having a lot of problems of their own. But the Bills, very impressive here this afternoon. Played the D, didn't have Cornelius. Radisic did a great job, and we'll wait to find out what the story is with Mr. Bennett, of course, during the week. But the Bills on their way to Seattle next Monday night in first place in the AFC East. Wes?
Good, Ed. Thank you. 24-7, the final. Buffalo over Cincinnati this afternoon. Join us for more at 6 o'clock tonight on Channel 2 News and at 11 Sports Extra at 11:30. Wes Goforth, thanks for joining us. The Skins game golf next, live from California. Bye-bye, everybody.
The decade of the 90s will bring many new automotive designs, inspired merely by how they will look in the showroom. This is our totally redesigned Honda Accord. And this is our showroom.
Post Fruit and Fiber presents new Cinnamon Apple Crisp, and a Fruit and Fiber cereal fanatic who never forgets our name.
Right, never. Hey, this is new. Chunks of tasty apple, cinnamon, it's fruit and...
Post Fruit and Fiber introduces Cinnamon Apple Crisp with delicious dried apple, cinnamon, crisp granola, and whole wheat flakes with bran.
Well, no wonder I forgot. This new taste is terrific.
New Post Fruit and Fiber Cinnamon Apple Crisp. Tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
Half the picture won't tell you the whole story, and reading between the lines can be annoying. Fine-tuning your view is why Channel 2 News brings you Focus 2. All this month, watch for Focus 2 on Channel 2 News. Special reports bringing you a clear understanding of issues that matter to you.
Wondering what's hot and what's not for Christmas this year? Hi, I'm Money Matters reporter Mike Igo. Join me as we focus in on the best and the worst gifts for the coming holiday season.
Watch Focus 2 on Channel 2 News tomorrow at 6.
Donate a new toy and make our Christmas wish come true for kids' sake.
Began to state our thinking on the economy and the financial markets, and to tell investors what to do. It was daring, but we feel we have an obligation to tell people exactly where we stand. So far, our forecasts have been very insightful, but right or wrong, it's a way of doing business we're committed to. Shearson Lehman Hutton. When you do it better, you get to be the leader.
More than 1 million test miles ago, Lexus engineers set out in pursuit of perfection. They arrived in separate cars, introducing the V8-powered LS400 luxury sedan and the V6-powered ES250 sports sedan. Lexus, the result of our relentless pursuit of perfection.
America uses more things produced from oil than any other country in the world. We produce more domestic oil than any other company in America. BP America.
What good are computers that can't work together? Ours don't just work with what you have. They work better, enhancing your investment. Unisys and you. The power of two.
Exciting, most promising golfers of tomorrow. Today, on the new Ben Hogan Tour, where every player has a bright future ahead of him. One way or another. The new Ben Hogan Tour, beginning in 1990.
The 13th hole, the 220-yard par 3 worth $135,000. Lee Trevino hit his ball in the water. Nicholas way off to the right rough, chipped left and below the hole, so the battle would appear to be Curtis Strange and Raymond Floyd.
Curtis getting a chuckle, Vinny. He says, I hope you say this is an easy shot. We got a television across the lake here that we can hear.
it's up to Raymond Floyd to knock in a birdie putt to have the hole, or Curtis Strange picks up $135,000 by chipping in. Maybe it was an easy shot, Mark. Now the heat's on Raymond Floyd, and he has a lot of fans, especially Nicholas and Trevino.
A lot of commotion right now with him, but I'll tell you, Raymond Floyd is not paying any attention to it at all. He's got 9 feet. It's a fairly flat putt, but should break a little to his left.
He was walking as if he hit that putt.
Curtis, to sit here and watch that, you know, a great putter like Raymond from 12 feet, you know, you just got to expect him to make it. I mean, it's just a shock to me that he did make it.
Is it easier this year so far?
No, it's not easier, but we're having a little more fun.
Good for you.
And you know, again, we got a lot more money coming to the boys, you know, home in Richmond. It's fantastic.
Congratulations. Keep it up.
Thanks, bud.
Okay.
The 14th hole will be worth $35,000. Curtis Strange has now won $195,000.
The 14th hole is another short par 4. It's 376 yards long, and like the 12th, if you're not paying attention, it can lull you to sleep. You have to avoid this long bunker that runs down the right side of the fairways. The players will be playing left off the tee, and like the 12th, the second shot is a blind one. The pin today is in the back left, a pretty easy spot. And in the history of the skins, no skin has ever been won on this hole. That could change today.
Curtis Strange, who had a $60,000 skin on the 5th hole, picks up $135,000 more at the 13th. So he is the leader by far with $195,000 earned.
Good try, bro.
The United States Open champion in 1988 and in 1989 stands now to be the money winner of skins this year, which would mean he would be the defending champion and return next year. 9 skins for Curtis, 3 for Jack, 1 for Raymond, and Lee Trevino still looking and wondering if he'll ever get one.
No. Same thing.
Why do you care now? Why do you care where the ball goes? Why you say that? Say no. Well, what difference does it make now?
Yesterday, Curtis' wife Sarah was celebrating her birthday. They can really celebrate it today, and as Lee Trevino is saying, what do you care where the ball goes?
He almost fell off his wall.
Take another look. Just chipping from the fringe for $135,000. Now here's Raymond Floyd still thinking about the missed birdie putt that would have halved the hole. When Raymond putted, and you heard Curtis Strange say, I thought he made it. And normally, one of Raymond Floyd's trademarks, when he putts a putt that he thinks he made, he immediately begins to walk after the ball towards the hole. And he took 3 steps and then was shocked as it just leaked off to the left.
I'll go get it.
Been a tough back 9 for Lee. He's been on the rocks and in the water.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, you guys.
Time for the caddy cam to give us a little input as far as Jack Nicklaus in a drive, along with Peter Jacobson's commentary.
Here we've got one of the greatest drivers in the game, Jack Nicklaus from the caddy cam. Notice how as Jack sets to hit the shot, he stands behind his ball and picks a spot between his ball and the target to ensure his line down the fairway. Jack sets the club behind the ball first and then his feet to the club. Now as Jack takes the club away, notice how he cocks his head way to the right just before he takes the club away. Let's see that again. As he waggles the club and sets the club behind the ball, he cocks his head so far to the right, it almost takes the ball out of the camera view. Right there.
Jack Nicklaus striding to his ball down the left side of 14. He's won $55,000 in skins thus far, and there's considerable money still on the table.
It won't leave you dry. Baywatch, Friday.
The 1990 S15 Jimmy from GMC Truck. Now with a 4.3-liter Vortec V6 standard. And new for the 90s is a standard 5-speed manual transmission with overdrive. The new S15 Jimmy. Power and performance into the 90s.
GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore.
See your nearby Western New York GMC truck dealer today.
If you love golf the way I do, you'll love Springbrook Golf. You just won't find a better place for clubs. Springbrook has the largest selection in the Northeast at the best prices, and you can try them before you buy them. Then have your swing computer analyzed for the perfect custom fit. All club sets come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Springbrook Golf Pro Shops, your specialists for golf.
Visit Springbrook, 6831 Seneca Street, Elma, or 4555 Bailey in Amherst.
Humbug. The holidays depress me. Maybe I'll foreclose on someone. That usually cheers me up.
Scrooge, you old miser.
Marley!
Why must you be so crotchety?
I'm not sleeping well.
Try a Big Sur waterbed, Scrooge. You'll sleep like a baby. Choose from dozens of styles, all at penny-pinching prices.
Splendid, Marley. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Oh, did that hurt, Marley?
Yeah.
Well, how about this? And this? And this? And that?
Catch the excitement of Sports Extra, Sunday at 11:30, only on Channel 2.
Nicklaus is away about 125 yards from the 14th.
I'm going to hit this one hard. If I can hit it hard, I will. I can't get a stance to hit it hard. Let me try again. I can't get a stance.
Obviously, Vin, a most difficult lie here. His ball well above his feet. Originally had a pitching wedge, wanted to hit it hard. Now he's gone to the 9-iron. Cannot see the flag at all from where he is. He dug it out pretty good. It's a little bit right of the flag. Not a bad shot, though, from that lie.
A little awkward, wasn't it?
Curtis Strange has driven it in the fairway bunker on the right-hand side. Saw him take a little hop there to try and get a
down
glimpse
here
of the
looks like
flag.
pretty good ways.
Yep. 110 front left.
116 to the hole, playing 120, say.
Yeah. Go pat uphill.
Let me have that.
He's going from the wedge to the 9 also.
Said it's 116 to the hole, playing 120.
Pretty good. Right on line.
Curtis Strange now with $195,000 won, $135,000 today. He is loose and playing up a storm.
Thanks.
Lee Trevino from the middle of the fairway again.
Good one there. Now he really has a look at his first possible skin.
Not that, it's this one.
Well, you know, Vin, what's happened to Lee is really the essence of the skins
I'm not
game.
having any trouble hitting it. I'm having trouble getting it in the hole.
That's exactly what he's saying. He has by far driven the ball better than the other three players. He has nothing to show for it, though. Raymond Floyd now from the left rough. Hanging lie. 90 yards.
So Raymond Floyd unable to hold, and he tumbles down into that crater filled with sand.
Shots and wedges.
Isn't it good? So Lee Trevino, a couple of feet away from the birdie that could be worth $35,000. It would also be his first birdie of skins. Don't forget that number, 1-900-446-1234. Vote for the player you'd most like to see play in the 1990 skins game. We'll be back.
Uh-oh. I bet I'll get you there.
What you do for me, for you.
Oh, you in trouble now. Watch this. Nice shot. Thanks. But we do have an unfair advantage over these gentlemen. Why? We've got 150 horses.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. Owning a home or a brand new car can be a dream come true. And USFNG can help to protect and cover you. From the mountains edge to the ocean's edge, we insure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
It can stop the hottest action. The Minolta Maxim 3000i. Ultra-wide angles. Over 30 autofocus lenses. Extreme telephoto zooms. It captures what no snapshot camera can, even in difficult lighting. It's the autofocus SLR that's this easy. The incomparable Maxim 3000i.
Only from the mind of Minolta. Introducing the 1990 Toyota Celica. Its totally new shape will please your sense of design. And the way it moves will stimulate your sense of excitement. The all-new Toyota Celica. You'll love what it does for you.
It's a holiday special for the entire family.
With Brian Boitano,
Debbie Thomas,
Scott Hamilton,
Dorothy Hamill,
and Kitty and Peter Carruthers.
Relive the magic of the World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
Only on NBC Sports World.
Jack Nicklaus putting first, knowing full well that Trevino has a makeable birdie putt.
You read it, man. I don't want to look.
Raymond Floyd's second shot found the bottom of the severe bunker. Virtually an impossible shot to hold the green. And it took off and hit the golf bag. Otherwise, it's off the course. Curtis Strange will be putting in a moment. A reminder, next Sunday, join NBC Sports, an exciting football doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. Many of you will see a key AFC Central Division game from the Dog Pound, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Second game, most of you will see Denver and Los Angeles, plus regional action. Check your local listings for the games in your area. Curtis Strange trying to get up and down following a wonderful shot from the bunker. So the door is wide open for Lee Trevino. How much of a putt will Lee have?
He's only got 3 feet straight in. It's not a difficult putt at all.
Yes, it's you, Jack.
I think Jack is going to putt out for his 4. This puts a little more pressure on Lee. They're making him wait. These fellas are great competitors and great friends, but the mind game plays about 75% of this competition, and making Lee wait just a little bit makes that putt jump back a little bit.
This was the shot that got him there. Just about 3 feet below the flagstick. There it is, his first skin, as he says, spouse money. You're right. A $35,000 skin on the 14th hole.
Lee, you waited a few too many holes there. You let the big one get away. Congratulations.
Yeah, I tell you, I had a little rough time with that putter. You know, I just changed to that putter, and I'll tell you, I'm trying to work like I used to with the putter, move it way away from my body where I have more of a free flow with it, and I've been rolling it pretty good, but. I'm happy the way I'm hitting the ball. I'm starting to peak at striking the ball, and that's good news for me because I haven't played competitive since September, and I'm going to play my first senior event in 2 weeks. Yeah.
You have a charity you want to designate for your 20% of your earnings.
Definitely. One of the greatest charity in the world, in my opinion, and it's the St. Jude Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. I love them. They're doing a great job.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, see, this is spouse.
So Lee Trevino wins his first skin worth $35,000. The par 4 15th is also worth $35,000.
The 15th is a par 4, and it's one of the PGA West Stadium course's toughest holes. Measures a full 455 yards. Bunkers on both sides of the fairway, and there's really nothing that works here other than a long, straight drive. If you can manage to get it in the fairway here at 15, the second shot is slightly uphill to a small, imposing target. There's a huge knoll that bisects the middle of this green that makes it particularly difficult. The pin today is cut just behind that knoll.
Lee Trevino will have the honors. Also, the first time in the history of skins that a skin has been won on the 14th. And Trevino will be first off at 15.
Yeah.
Another good drive by Trevino, Vin. He really has driven the ball magnificently. Finally paid off for him back at 14.
Curtis Strange, the big winner thus far, $195,000.
Curtis? Too much.
Cut it just a little bit down the right side.
Raymond Floyd has won $25,000, his only skin back on 8.
This one's down the right side, too. You know, Vin, a little bit of a comforting feeling right now, I think, amongst these players. I think everybody kind of wanted Lee to get that skin. They all have one now. They know how tough it is when you don't have one.
Jack has won $55,000, a skin on the first hole and on the 7th.
Go to right. It is right.
So they're all on the right side. Nicklaus in the rough near the gallery. A $35,000 15th hole waiting for the winner.
Mr. White has always been an avid golfer. For the past 10 years, he'd been hitting a traditional golf ball and landing his drive in the same spot on the 16th hole at his country club. Then he tried the brand new Top Flight Plus 2 and discovered two incredible things. First, that the Top Flight Plus 2 outdistances other golf balls, and second, that you can see his house from farther up the 16th fairway. Change your whole perspective. Try the new Top Flight Plus 2, the longest balls.
This is the final call for Flight 39. Apologize for the delay. The captain has turned on the fasten.
In an average business year, an average business traveler serves an average 21 days locked in transit.
Baggage for Flight 256 will be arriving.
National has a way to reduce your sentence, and it means you'll never have to encounter another counter. National's Emerald Isle. Freedom at last.
How productive are computers that take an army to run them? Look at the cost of computing, not just computers. Unisys and you, the power of two.
My husband, Elliot, he's an inventor. He's made a very good life for both of us. Last year, this big company paid a lot of money for one of his ideas. Elliot even thought about opening his own company, but in the end, we decided to invest the money. Besides, I'm not sure Elliot's cut out to work in an office anyway.
To invest tax-free with John Newbean and Company, call your financial advisor or this number.
The Bengals, the Browns, and the Dog Pound. Then Elway and Bo. The Broncos battle the Raiders, an NBC football doubleheader next Sunday.
On this magnificent day here in La Quinta, California, with $140,000 left on the table, the only one who could still catch Curtis Strange is Jack Nicklaus. Nicklaus would have to run the table to reach the numbers that Strange already has. And, of course, it can still be done. Curtis is away. Second shot on the par 4.
207 yards. He's got a 2-iron. You heard Mark talking about how long this golf course is playing, and this hole is into the wind, and with these soft fairways, the ball is just not going anywhere. That's a beautiful shot, a little bit to the right side.
Two-iron just wouldn't quite check for him, but he is right on the fringe.
Hook that. I know, but you don't know how I tried to hit it. What's the play?
Lee Trevino having just picked up his first skin at 14.
Huh?
200 yards.
He just told me that he's hitting the ball better because he moved the ball in closer to his stance. He was reaching a little bit for it. He moved it in. He says he's hitting the ball great.
Ah, got tangled up, babe.
That's left.
Get to the right. It's up, but I just didn't. I got
in the rough.
Got tangled up.
Friends Friday, the annual Skins Game Pro-Am featured among the contestants Vice President Dan Quayle. The winning team, George Moody, Chris Gibbs, Frank Higgins, and Bill Bone, paired with Jack Nicklaus and Mark O'Meara. Each of the players won a set of Hogan Edge golf clubs provided by the Ben Hogan Company. Now Jack Nicklaus.
That ball is way right. He had a very difficult second shot. He was on the downslope in long grass.
Thought I'd turn that off of that lie.
Raymond Floyd next from 198 yards with a 4-iron. The pin today is in a very favorable spot on the back left of the green.
Go in the hole, honey. Go in the hole one time.
Boy, it was close to answering that prayer.
Thank you.
So Raymond Floyd looking at a birdie and a possible $35,000 squin, which would then give him $60,000 earnings.
I couldn't leave any there, could I?
I don't understand where he is. He's never late. He'd call, wouldn't he?
He might.
Could he be at your place? Danny.
Hey, what kept you, counselor?
I'm walking out. The phone rings. My dealer called to find out if I'm happy with my new car.
That's not exactly what I expect from a car dealer.
That's exactly what I expect from my Toyota dealer.
Customer satisfaction, the cornerstone of the Toyota Touch.
A large European corporation needed $300 million. So they contacted the London office of Shearson Lehman Hutton, who contacted the Tokyo, New York, and Geneva offices seeking the lowest cost funds. The European corporation had its money in 24 hours. Few companies could have engineered a transaction this large, this quickly. Shearson Lehman Hutton. When you do it better, you get to be the leader.
It's not the rocket that put man on the moon. It's the intelligence that fueled it. It's not the bat that created the legend. It's the skill that powered it. It's not the instrument that stirs the spirit. It's the imagination behind it. And it's not information technology that will make your company more successful. It's the vision to apply it.
You know, I bought my Toyota Camry because 3 separate mechanics, Fred, Jeff, and Kevin, told me the Camry was a really reliable car.
Now he waves when he goes by the shop, but he doesn't stop.
Can't believe you told him to buy such a reliable car.
They were right. My Camry's been really dependable.
I didn't tell him to buy one. I said they were reliable. You did too.
He'll never see me again.
No use crying over spilled milk.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
The game's high rollers.
America's top bowlers.
In a high-stakes showdown.
Lisa Wagner.
Mark Roth.
Marshall Holman.
And the winner of a nationwide competition.
A unique roll-off where the stakes go up as the pins go down.
The Bowling Shootout.
December 9th, only on NBC.
Curtis Strange putting at 15 for birdie just off the fringe. A skin worth $35,000.
Get in there, Curtis. Get in there.
Curtis has won $195,000. There's $140,000 left on the table. And if Raymond Floyd wins a skin, that means that Curtis Strange would return next year as the top winner.
Make you lose a beat.
Moments ago, the one man who had a chance to perhaps catch Curtis Strange, if he could run the table, was Jack Nicklaus, his third shot from the rough. But he was strong. It was a nice shot, but under the circumstances, it doesn't apply. Then Lee Trevino out of the rough. And he made a great shot that looked like it had a chance.
Come back now. That ball's supposed to come back a little bit, man. I thought it was dead center. Huh?
So now here's the big birdie effort for Raymond Floyd. The defending champion from last year, trying to pick up a $35,000 skin that would give him $60,000 in earnings. Floyd not only picks up a $35,000 skin, it means that Curtis Strange will be the defending champion in the 1990 skins, and there's still a lot of money. There's $105,000 on the table, and among other things, the dramatic par 3 at 17. Let's go to Mark.
All right, Raven, you guys started off a little slow today, but you're lighting it up now.
Well, let's hope we can birdie on in. We're starting to hit some good shots. Everybody's loose. We've got a marvelous day, so maybe we can put a good show on from here.
I thought you hit some great shots yesterday. Course playing very difficult, though.
It was, and I think the course is playing a little easier today. We're hitting the ball a little farther. It might be the air or the fairways. I don't know which.
All right, great birdie there, Raymond.
Thanks, Mark.
And so, up ahead, the 16th, a par 5 worth $35,000.
So you're the one.
Yes, ma'am.
Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis. Top Gun, a special event tonight.
The 1990 S15 Jimmy from GMC Truck. Now with a 4.3-liter Vortec V6 standard. And new for the 90s is a standard 5-speed manual transmission with overdrive. The new S15 Jimmy. Power and performance into the 90s.
GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore.
See your nearby Western New York GMC truck dealer today.
As chairman of the board of this great company, I'd like to nominate my son, Robert Farnsworth III, for vice president and chief financial officer. Son, remind me to stop at Pro Golf Discount on the way to the country club. I need golf balls.
Dad, why don't you just buy them at the golf course?
My son has just informed me that he can't accept the position at this time. Feels he's not quite ready yet. The next item, we should start planning the building.
Pro Golf, where the smart money shops.
Whenever life presents you with happy opportunities, let Henkel say what you're thinking. Henkel Trocken Sparkling Wine.
Consumer Reports, the magazine you know and trust, now comes to Money Matters on Channel 2 News.
The 7th annual Skins Game is brought to you by your Toyota dealers and their quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Minolta and the Maxim 3000i. Maxim does what no snapshot camera can. By National, for reservations, call 1-800-CAR-RENT. And by Spalding, maker of Top Flight golf balls, the longest ball. The 16th hole is a par 5 worth $35,000.
We've reached the famous 16th, the San Andreas Fault. It's a par 5, 560 yards in length. The players will be driving the ball off the tee down the right side. If they put it into that long fairway bunker on the left, they're going to be in trouble. This green can be reached in 2, but only by the longest of hitters. The tee shot will land here. If you do go for the green, you've got to snake it down the right side off the mounds that you see. That's a 20-foot cliff and the trap on the left. And with that pin in the back left today, that third shot is one of the scariest shots in golf. Coming down the stretch, these players are going to be concentrating pretty hard at this point.
They are concentrating indeed as we pick up the action, waiting for the third shot, and Lee Trevino, who hit a fade right and then a fine second shot just short of the bunker.
He's got 195 yards with a 4-iron. Pin is back left, and he's playing a big draw. This is a beautiful shot.
Well, wooden hole, and now he's gone down that 20-foot cliff.
Went over. Boy, hit it perfect, too. Huh?
Then Lee's
I
playing...
nailed it, Herman.
Lee's playing more of a right-to-left ball. You heard him say to Herman Mitchell, his caddy, who is an all-star in his own right, that he hit it perfect. Lee's gone away from that patented fade to more of a right-to-left shot, which I think is going to help him when he plays a senior tour. He hits the ball a little farther.
Raymond Floyd hit his drive into the bunker off the tee, and then hit his second shot into the sand.
Way over the bunker, 138.
38 hole?
138 to the hole. A little bit of wind against.
And uphill?
Uphill.
I would like a 7. I'm going to hit a little 7.
138 yards, 7 iron.
What's behind it, about 12?
No, you got 6 behind it.
That's all?
Yeah. That's right, it's a little bit of wind against and it's uphill.
You like this, don't you?
Raymond's got a very difficult angle from his position. He's got virtually no green to work with. That ball is left.
I pulled it.
He hasn't seen the grass yet. He's gone from bunker to bunker to bunker.
Just pulled it a hair.
Then I think this is why a lot of people tune in. They want to see the players play from that 20-foot cliff bunker.
That's right. This hole became famous with the Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, in a recent Bob Hope, when Tip just couldn't get out of his bunker.
Don't you think?
All right. 108 yards away, a $35,000 skin awaiting the winner.
Curtis has got a pitching wedge.
Won't hold. And he's in the bunker. Well, Tip O'Neill has company. Now, Jack Nicklaus, who's in some light rough, short and to the right of the green, has been shut out on the back nine of skins after winning $55,000 yesterday. And the Bear has that look in his eye now because they've left the door open for him.
Jack Nicklaus has got a sand wedge from the right rough. He was playing with the crowd after Curtis's ball went down the bank. He aimed way to the right into the crowd and pretended to hit it way to the right of the flag. Got to get up. But it's on the green.
If you remember, on the 12th hole, he hit a pitching wedge 100 yards that checked back into the bunker. So he went for the sand wedge this time, and he's the only one on the green. Another great event taking place here during the 7th annual Skins, and it has just concluded recently. Time now to look at the USF&G highlights of the National Skins Team Championship. On their 14th hole, the par 5, number 5, George Zaringer for Greenwich, Connecticut and Deepdale almost holed it out. Knocked his partner Jim McLean from Sleepy Hollow flat on his back. And then walked up and knocked in the birdie putt worth $33,000. So George Zaringer and Jim McLean clean up for $51,000. Gathright and Tess, $37,500. Hancock and Walker, $15,000. Spitali and Spino, $4,500. Now let's go to Mark.
Thank you, Vin. We've had a very exciting USF&G National Skins Team Championship. And with me on the left, the winning team, professional Jimmy McLean, amateur George Zaringer. And to present to them the check for $51,000, the chairman of USF&G, Jack Mosley.
Thank you, Mark. Jim, congratulations to you and George. You played a marvelous tournament, and we hope you'll have a marvelous future ahead.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank USF&G and the PGA of America And this will put my boys, Matt and John, in college. Thank you.
All right, $51,000 worth. And for the amateur George Zeringer, a beautiful piece of Waterford crystal from the president of PGA of America, Mr. Pat Riley.
Thank you, Mark. Congratulations, George. Great week. Good luck in the future. Jimmy, congratulations to you.
Thank you, Pat. It has been a great week. PGA, USF&G ran a great event. Jim played well, and we're just delighted to have been here. Thank you.
Jim McLean and George Zeringer, great champions. Back to you, Vin.
The 16th hole par 5, Jack Nicklaus looking for his first skin of the day. And he'll be putting for birdie.
Nicklaus from 40 feet. Up the hill, and this ball needs to get up a little. Boy, he had it right in the middle of the hole, too.
Oh, he has that for par. A par could still win a skin here. What is so rare as a day in June? How about ice skates in the desert? And the pretty Dorothy Hamill, who'll be skating the Nutcracker on NBC Sports World. 3 coins in a fountain, 3 pros in the bunker. Here's the first one, Lee Trevino's 4th shot. And a beauty. So he is looking at a possible par, which could save the hole. A little left. United States Open champion Curtis Strain. Trouble in River City.
Hey, what? It'll be smooth. What do I want?
Now, big par putt for Trevino.
Let me get that for you, partner. Oh, no!
I don't know how that ball stayed out of there.
I don't believe that. That looked like my putt at 4.
So Jack Nicklaus,
I don't know how that ball stayed
with
out
a
there.
par, can win his first skin of the day worth $35,000.
Well, right over the hole.
Boy, there's a gift. Christmas comes early to Jack Nicklaus.
I can't believe that ball
as
stayed out
he
there.
wins a skin with a par at 16.
Nobody else hold out.
What happened to Curtis Strange?
He didn't hold out.
Remember, we saw him short? And finally, Raymond Floyd said, here, put this little dude in your pocket and let's get out of here.
I should have gone and given a little bit of this routine.
And it's on to the Island Green, the historic par 317, made famous by Lee Trevino's hole-in-one. That's on the other side of this.
What you do for me, Toyota. I love how you set me free, Toyota.
Toyota's new 4-wheel drive, 4-door 4Runner for 1990. Space, luxury, and V6 power. Where you go is your concern. Getting you back is ours.
What's the advantage of a full range of computers? We don't have to force-fit technology. We custom-fit solutions. Unisys and you, the power of 2.
America was built on dreams, and business is the key. We ensure where America works, we're USF&G. From the mountains edge to the ocean's edge, we ensure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
There's finally a little guy that does everything the big guys do with ease. The Maxim 3000i. It captures what no snapshot camera can. With over 30 autofocus lenses to shoot from all angles. Ultra wide to super close. It's the autofocus SLR that's this easy. The incomparable Maxim 3000i. Only from the mind of Minolta. What good are computers that can't work together? Ours don't just work with what you have. They work better, enhancing your investment. Unisys and you, the power of 2.
$35,000 skin waiting for the winner of the 17th hole, the Isle and Green